word in human history relative to teaching and learning comes from out of the Nile Valley of Africa. And this word is Seba. It's spelled S-E-B-A. Sometimes you may see it spelled S-B-A because they didn't use vowels in the way that we do in English. But this word has a very, very interesting meaning. It has several meanings. Teach, door, and star. And what this, along with other research that we've done, has shown us is that the ancient African concept and philosophy of education is that the teacher opens the door to the universe so that the student may shine like a star. Now, this concept of what it means to be a master teacher in the African tradition is one that very, very few teachers in training learn as they go through the different schools of education in America. But it's one that is really essential to tapping the spirit and touching the souls of students. Because when we look back at this ancient example of educational excellence, it is one of the best in the world that very few people have been exposed to. But then we can go back even further and we can look at the ancient writings of Ptahhotep that go back over 4,500 years. And he tells us that the Seba, the wise one, the master teacher, feeds the soul with that which endures. You see, these concepts and these ideas relative to the teaching and learning and education of ancient Africans would serve us very, very well today. At the University of Ephesus, for example, several thousand years ago, there were some 80,000 students who were there at the University of Ephesus, which is comprised in a temple complex that is the largest in the world, stretching to almost a quarter of a mile. Ancient Africans introduced the world to reading and writing, language and literature, agriculture and astronomy, architecture and engineering, mathematics and medicine. As a matter of fact, when we look at mathematics, we find that the oldest mathematical textbook in human history, again, comes out of the Nile Valley of Africa, the Alms Mathematics Papyrus, containing advanced examples of algebra, trigonometry, sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, square root, area, circumference, volume, and much, much more.
The following are some of the renowned Greek scholars that studied in Kemet: Thales, Hippocrates, Pythagoras, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, to name a few. A full course of study was 40 years, and the curriculum was quite extensive. The concept of Kemetic education was holistic in nature. It was viewed as a process of the transformation of the learner who progressed through successive stages of rebirth to become more divine. So there was a balance in terms of the hard sciences and math and science, which we can see evident in the architectural structure, the artistic expression that we see in the Nile Valley, as well as the moral character. This year we're looking to restore that memory so that our boys, our young men, our teachers, our administrators will be able to claim that and really raise our standard of excellence and take it to another level. Pre-Columbian education and mathematics, the legacy of Latino education. The two dominant cultures in these lands were the Aztecs of Mexico and the Incas of Peru. However, before 1492, a long tradition of astonishing intellectual and cultural accomplishments had already been established by other civilizations in what is now known as Mesoamerica. The cultural activity in Mesoamerica was characterized by a successive evolution of civilizations that benefited from the advances and accomplishments of preceding cultures through a process of cultural transmission that is largely unknown to us. From archaeological data, it appears that the Olmec is the oldest civilization of Mesoamerica, and the Aztec is the most recent. However, there were other civilizations that rose